ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वती देव्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम साईराम। अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक महाराजातिराज योगिराज परब्रह्म सच्चिदानंद भक्त प्रतिपालक समर्थ सद्गुरु शेगौन निवासी श्री गजानन महाराज की जय। श्री गजानन महाराज विजय ग्रंथ चैप्टर 11। Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. O God Shiva, sustainer of the cosmos, Pashupati, consort of goddess Bhavani, Dakshinamurti, you are the God with as many facets as there are people in the creation. You are formless and omnipresent, and the manifestation of an illusion. It is impossible to distinguish your nature, so you appear in countless figures. Devotees call you as per their preference, but it makes no difference. Shaivas call you Shiva, Vedantis call you Brahma, Ramanuja Sitapati, and Vaishnavas Lakshmipati. Various methods of worship bestowed you these names, but everywhere you remain the same. You are Vishweshwar in Somnath, Ketar in Himalaya, Mahankal on the bank of river Kshipra, Naganath, Vaidyanath at Verul, Krishneshwar, and Triambak on the bank of the Godavari river. You are Bhimashankar, Mallikarjuna, and Rameshwar. You are Shankar at Gokarna, Mahadev at Shingnapur. I bow down to all your forms. O benevolent God, please liberate me from the tough elements of nature. O consort of Girija, you made Kubera wealthy. Then why this hesitation for me? Next year, on Das Navami day, the saint came to Balapur once more. Balakrishna and Shuklal, the devotees, were waiting for him there. Sri Maharaj was accompanied by Bhaskar, Balabahu, Pitambar, Ganu, Jagadiyo, and Dindokar. The celebration was enthusiastic, but fate had something in store for Bhaskar. A rabid dog bit him at the gathering. People were afraid he would soon turn rabbit. All possible treatment was given to him. They all suggested that Bhaskar should go and see a doctor. Bhaskar was disinclined and replied that the saint would save him from disaster. When Bhaskar was brought to the saint, Balabahu narrated the entire incident. Maharaj heard it all, smiled, and said, "None can escape the effect of murder, enmity, and debts. Bhaskar removed the evil from Shuklal's cow. That evil has entered in the dog now. He requested me to remove the wickedness so that he gets the milk for himself. You enjoyed the milk. Now you feel sorry for the bite. Do you want me to save you? Come on, be frank with it. This dog bite is an excuse to end your life. It is over, and you have to leave this mundane strife. I can save you if you want to live longer, but that will be a sort of give and take affair. In this elusive world, this is the way they score. Be quick, tell me, you won't get this chance again. Said Bhaskar, I am your child. Do whatever you think best for me. Saint Tukaram, in one of his abhangs, said that a mother knows everything as to what is best for her offspring. Therefore, it is not for me to request. Please do whatever you think best. You are an ocean of knowledge. Truth always satisfies people who are candid. Maharaj was happy as Bhaskar's reply was forthright. Some devotees requested the saint to save Bhaskar, as he was one of the most dedicated disciples of the seer. The saint said, "Oh, you gentlemen, curb your ignorance. Know that life and death are delusions. No one is born and no one dies. Knowledge is essential to understand this illusion. One cannot be released from this life without suffering from the deeds of the past. Deeds of the past bring you to the present, and again of the present take you to the next, and on the cycle goes on. How long should one continue in this procession? Bhaskar has exhausted the effects of the past life and is now due for liberation. Do not come in his way. Let him go. It is difficult to get a devotee like him. I know this dog was his enemy in his previous birth. It has bitten him in Balapur in this term. The revenge is over, but if this leaves bitterness in Bhaskar, it will prompt him to retaliate. This will take him to the next birth again. As of today, Bhaskar is cleansed of his past misconduct. He is left with 2 months of his life. I can save him from the effects of the dog bite. If it won't be this way, he will have to come once more and live on this earth for 2 more months further. Some people did not grasp the values in that statement, but Balabahu could comprehend it and was very happy. He praised Bhaskar for his devotion to the saint, thereby freeing him from cycle of life and death. When they returned to Shegon monastery, Bhaskar told others the story of the happenings at Balapur on Das Navami. With folded hands, he appealed to the gentry. Shegon is fortunate to have Sri Gajanan saint. Let us honor his being here with a monument. We are aware that he doesn't need one, but it is essential for the next generation. They have memorials for Saint Dhyaneshwar at Alandi, at Sajjangad for Sri Ramadas Swami, for Saint Tukaram at Dehu Nagari. We should have one here for Saint Sri Gajanan. Though he said so, he was not sure of their intentions. Once during the absence of the saint, he called many dignitaries to attend a meeting to discuss and recommend. The attendees included Bankatlal, Hari Patel, Maruti, Chandraban, and among others, Shipatrao Vavikar, Tarachand Savkar. Bhaskar said, I am here for 2 months only, not long. I wish a grand memorial for the saint to be built at Shegon. I will leave this place with great happiness. Please remember that service to a saint never goes waste. He alone is the one who will fulfill your desires. The memorial should draw all praise and prayer. Bhaskar was happy at their promise to fulfill his desire. Day by day, he felt elated, like a child excited at the thought of a coming festival. On the 13th day of the waning moon in Magh, said Saint Gajanan Maharaj, Bhaskar, for Mahashivaratri, let us go to Triambakeshwar, as there, on the banks of Godavari river, resides Shiva, the Bhavanivar. The Jyotirling there is pleasing to the eyes. A glimpse of that destroys all wrongdoings. Come, don't delay. Let us go and take a dip salutary in the holy waters of the sacred Godavari. On the Brahmagiri hill near the river grow medicinal herbs which are very rare. Saint Gahininath, who resides there, knows them and the diseases they cure. We can get for you some medicament for your anti-rabies treatment, Bhaskar remarked. I don't need any medicines. I am content with your blessings. I am freed of the dog bite poison at Balapur and have to live for just another 2 months. Therefore, please let me stay here. As for me, you are Triambakeshwar. Your feet are Godavari to me, where I bathe. I don't need any holy place to visit at this stage. Though this may be true, said the saint graciously, one shouldn't ignore the importance of a holy place. Come, let us get ready to go now. Take with us Pitambar and Balabahu. They were all there at Triambakeshwar on Shivaratri day, festival of the year. They took bath at the Kushavrat reservoir, had a glimpse of God Triambakeshwar. They offered worship to Gautami at Gangadwar, Ma Neelambika, Nivruti, and Gahininath. From there, they all came to Nashik to meet Gopal Das, who was sitting at the gate of the temple at Kalaram. This was in Panchavati. In front of it was a peepal tree. Maharaj sat on the platform below with his disciples. Gopal Das was happy and said to his people, My brother has come from Vidarbha. He is Gajanan. Go pay respects to him and offer him coconut and sugar. Put this garland around his neck. Though we are two different bodies, we two are the same. The disciples offered sweets and garlanded the saint, who asked Bhaskar to give sweets to all those present. Our work at Panchavati is over now. Let us go to Nashik to meet Dhumlal, the lawyer. Many people came to have a glimpse of the saint. A few days later, back to Shegon they went. Zyam Singh of Adgon visited Shegon with a request to Maharaj to visit Adgon. Maharaj was not well inclined to go. Zyam Singh went back and forth to and fro. He came back on Ram Navami. After the worship, he said, Come with me. At Adgon, we will observe Hanuman Jayanti. Strange things happened during the tour. One afternoon, Saint pushed Bhaskar to the floor. He sat on his chest and pounded him. People were aghast, but no one dared say anything until Balabahu intervened with a pleading. With all humility and a voice mellow, he said, Please let him go. He is being scorched by the hot earth below. Bhaskar said, Don't object to him. Let him do what he likes. This is not thrashing, but just a game. Only those who understand the saint well will be able to comprehend the same. When they returned to their residence, Sri Gajanan Maharaj said to Balabahu, Only 2 days are left for Bhaskar now. On this Panchami day, he has to go. The reason I thrashed him today is that he made me do the same to you one day. To dispel the effect of that action, I bet him. There was no other intention. The festival culminated with distribution of prasad. When the day of Panchami dawned, Sri Gajanan Maharaj said to Bhaskar, This is your date of departure. Thus now, get prepared. To the people, he has to recite Vittal Narayan. This brother of you is now going to Vaikunth. Worship him, offering bukha and flowers. Bhaskar sat facing east in a Padmasana post, concentrating his eyes on the tip of his nose, surrendering his thoughts to the Almighty. Worship was performed by the devotees. The saint was looking happily at them. Chanting of prayers continued till then. At midday, the saint said aloud, Har Har, to Vaikunt. With these words went Bhaskar. Only those who were blessed by the saints go straight to Vaikunt from this place. Devotees asked the saint about Bhaskar's final place of rest. He resided on a site near Dwarakeshwar, where they brought his remains in a palanquin decorated with banana leaves and flowers. En route, the devotees were singing prayers. When they reached the temple of Dwarakeshwar, all memorial services were performed for Bhaskar. People present grieved at his departure, saying that he was the greatest devotee of the saint ever. From next day, they started feeding of the poor. Dwarakeshwar was 1 mile north of Adgon, situated between Akoli and Adgon, among trees of neem, peepal, audambar, and mandar. Food offering called Sant Bandara for the people continued for 10 days at Dwarakeshwar temple. They all squatted in the shade of tall tamarind trees to have their share of food offerings. Crows in the woods troubled them to a great extent by crowing, picking morsels, and dropping waste. Annoyed by the nuisance, they called the bills to shoot at them while the people ate. When he saw this, the Maharaj said, Mind you, don't shoot the crows. They are here too to share the offerings with people like you. Bhaskar's soul is in heaven. He is not in the queue. Normally, souls of the dead hover in the sky for 10 days. On the 11th day, a ball of rice is offered to the crows. When crows touch it to heaven, the soul goes. For Bhaskar, this process was not required, of course. That's why the crows were angry. Bhaskar's soul had reached heaven already. He had attained detachment while on this planet and thus needed no such offerings for him to attain liberation. Such things are required for those entangled in desires and are not favored for direct ascent to the heavenly sphere. Crows want to convey by showing their rage that they be given their share as in other cases. Please don't shoot, I will handle them. Thus saying, the saint turned to the crows. Don't come to this place from tomorrow, as this may lower the prestige of Bhaskar's soul. Eat today whatever you like to your heart's content, and don't come back from tomorrow ever again. Devotees were amazed to hear this exchange. Non believers thought of it as a sheer nonsense. How can birds obey orders of a human being? They asked each other that evening. Next day, deliberately, they went to the place to gauge the effect of what the saint had said. Not a single crow was spotted at the scene. It was a great surprise to the skeptic beings. They surrendered to Maharaj then and there. No crows visited the place for the next 12 years. The saint returned to Shegon after 14 days with the remaining disciples in his entourage. Since it was the time of drought, wells were being dug all across. At one side, it went well until 10 feet downward. They struck a black rock which stopped the work. 4 holes were made in the rock for dynamite and fastening ends of ropes inside. Gunpowder was packed in those openings with proper placements of ends of the strings. Through them were passed small burning pipes to slide down and ignite the stuffed dynamite. Somehow the pipes got stuck in knots in between. They did not slide down further. Water was about to soak in the gunpowder, making it ineffective to explode under. Someone was required to go and press the pipes down to save the technical sung. No one was ready to take such a risk. The contractor asked Ganu Jawar to go quick down. His utter poverty made him obey the authority. It is only a sheep who is killed before a deity. Ganu had great faith in Sri Gajanan. Remembering the saint in his heart, he went down. He pulled the obstructed pipe, which slid down, and touched the gunpowder. Before he could pull another, at the first explosion, Ganu was trapped in the well. He prayed to the saint to save him from this hell. The entire well got filled with smoke. Ganu caught hold of a rock below, behind which there was a cavern to hide. Remaining 3 dynamites exploded one after another, throwing stones out scattered everywhere. People thought that Ganu was shattered to pieces. The contractor asked that his body be searched in debris. Ganu heard him and shouted from inside the well, Oh mystery! Ganu is not dead. He is alive and well. By the grace of Sri Gajanan, he is safe in a cave. A big rock is obstructing his safe escape. People rejoiced hearing Ganu's voice and went down to clear the space. Ganu came up and bowed down to Maharaj for his kind grace. Maharaj smiled and said, "The big stone which obstructed you saved you. Don't repeat such feats again. Don't touch an ignited pipe. You are here by God's grace." When people came to see Ganu, he said, "Oh Maharaj, it was you holding my hand when the dynamite exploded, putting me safe in the cavern and saving me from the jaws of death. I am here by your kind grace." Such was the greatness of Maharaj, which I have no words to express. Let this treatise bring happiness to the devotees. Jai Gajanan. End of chapter 11.